Good morning, good morning. Today's episode of Horrible Human Beings, we're gonna do something different. We're gonna give out an award. It's something that I've been wanting to start. It's been in the works for a while. We're giving out the award for portraits and Miss Excellence. And Miss Excellence is not a word at all. That's something that was just created for this. Uh, but we're gonna take it back to another time, the 1980s, when Michael Jackson was king, and Saturday morning had cartoons on to about 1 o'clock. You never seen nothing like it. You got two kung fu movies in the middle of the day. It was the 80s was a different time. Every cartoon had a toy, but every video game was horrible. But what I'm talking about is the music. So in 1985, there was a song called "We Are the World," which believe the song was a benefit song for Africa, I believe, to feed the children. I want to say Ethiopia, but it had 46 people on the song, so it had a who's who of everybody who was out and who was doing something at the time. Everybody named Jackson was on there, except Michael, and then also Michael. Michael was the focal point. Cyndi Lauper, um, uh, Ray Charles was on there. Stevie Wonder was on there. Paul McCartney was on there. What if I just named 5, 6 names? There's like 40 other names. Lionel Richie was on there. He wrote the song with Michael Jackson. Uh, oh God, even Bob Dylan was on there. If you don't know who Bob Dylan is, he's still somebody right now with what he's done with music. But I want to say Elvis Costello. It was literally everybody who was anybody, and some of them people are still somebodies and legends to this day. Diana Ross was there. Dionne Warwick was there. Um, oh man, the list go on and on. But what's more telling about this is who was not on there, and they wanted Prince on there, but Prince was in another dimension at the time and did not return calls for that. But that was on brand for Prince back then, or later on, 20 years, it didn't make a difference. That was a Prince thing. Madonna, who also in 1985 was at her and Michael Jackson was damn near neck and neck. They was at their I don't think they would ever be more popular than they was back then. That's when Michael Jackson was wearing the Captain Crunch coat and everything, and it was hard when he was running to the helicopter with the president for I don't know why reasons. But that was the 80s. So they ain't invite Madonna on there, even though super world star that she was, because they just ain't think Madonna could sing, which really is that really gotta hurt when you got 46 people in the room, and Bob Dylan is one of them, and Bob Dylan had to be 73 back in 1985. But there's also a little known fact, and this is going to get speculative in nature. This is rumor, but it's a little known fact. One Larry Blackman from Cameo was not featured. Now, the thing is, Larry Blackman was invited. It could have been 47. Now, Cameo, Larry Blackman was he was the lead singer for Cameo. Cameo was a group that came out in the 70s. Blackman was from Harlem, and they was a funk band, and they had hits. I ain't gonna lie, and they hit their stride in the 70s, in the 80s. They had become as big as stars as almost any of them names that I named. Uh, Larry Blackman had a little ongoing beef with uh, Rick James, which, my God, you can only imagine. That just say enough right there that I got a vendetta with Rick James about who can who can out ass each other out this. It's who can show their ass the most and leave a legacy. So anyhow, Blackman is representing Harlem. Blackman was coming out, But the thing about Larry had a unmistakable style of singing, and I don't know if it really was singing or if it was how he was talking, but he got a famous song. You could YouTube it. Word up, what's up with you? And now that's how he delivered a 3.5 minute song with the hook, and that's a famous song. It's a hit. It's a hit. Them boys made money off that. Had another famous song. It's like candy, I can serve you on top. Oh, can no rock here take over? That's exactly how he delivered all of his lyrics and songs. And in that voice, which I believe was just his regular voice, his get up in the morning voice, he had a high top fade, and he had a big thing where he'd wear a cod piece over leather pants, sometimes wearing a cod piece over shorts. If you don't know what a cod piece is, basically it's like a cup that an athlete will wear, but he just wore it on the outside and it would paint it fluorescent red. That was his thing, you know. I guess him and James going back and forth. So, now this is just word on the street. They invited the man in there to sing, but apparently Cameo was more cocky than anyone else. And so Cameo come in, and you know, it's 46 people. Paul McCartney from the goddamn Beatles is there. 45 other people. All these people are stars, and not just regular stars. These people, they ain't just start getting famous in 1981 or 82. Some of them been famous since 1950. But Cameo comes in and, listen, don't sit me next to him. I need to be right there near Michael. Now, Quincy Jones set this whole thing up. Michael Jackson is the centerpiece. Michael Jackson wrote the lyrics. He's singing the hook, and Quincy got it set up so he's right next to Diana Ross. It's all vocally arranged, but not for Cameo's liking. I said, I'm not sitting next to Tony. I'm not gonna do that. Sit me with Michael. Matter of fact, give me that mic. Now, already they trying to let him know, hey man, you got seats here. It's places you can go. We have it arranged in such a way you can do the third chorus. Cameo, I'm not doing none of that. Don't ask me for it. I said, man, you can have that kind of attitude. I don't know, maybe Cameo was high or whatever, but you know, Quincy Jones is about his business too. Yeah, you ain't ruining something. Quincy got all them people together. Quincy's still A-list. So they say Quincy came down and he had to put his hands on camera. What you doing to me? Get off me, Quincy. He put his hands on the man, and he got him up out there. He ain't called security neither. He got him up out there. Or they keep on playing with me. This song ain't gonna do nothing. Probably should call Prince. Prince not picking up for Cameo. He is especially not picking up for Cameo. And that's how Cameo actually got him, his car piece, and that unmistakable voice got kicked out of We Are the World. Some people even say that they might have let him stay there, but after they ran through an initial track, initial recording of it, it wasn't what they was looking for. And you can just imagine Cameo singing it. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones that make a better day. So let's start giving. Damn, we ain't let Madonna in there. We gonna let him in here? Hey. Don't sit me next to Stevie. He keep bumping me with his elbow. It was just out of control. They said, you know what? We got 46. We good. We don't need 47. And so that's how Cameo was not on We Are the World in 1985, along with Madonna and Prince. And if you look at it like that, that's rare air to not be in there with. Pretty good to not be in there with them folks. And he would have a storied career that would go on. It wouldn't stop in 85, you know. Of course, he would go through a bunch of switches in his band. Routinely, you know, normally we talk about somebody's ascent, but I believe his descent was somewhere they was having a show in Albuquerque. I don't know, maybe it's 1997, 1998. He done invited half his cousins to be the band members. It done ballooned a 19-man band, and I'm not sure how many people was in the audience, but it seemed like a lot wasn't. And Cameo at this point, he got one of them riders, where you can say what you want and all the things, but Cameo is requesting the weirdest things ever. I need all blue lima beans. Your lima beans is green. Give me purple Twizzlers. Nothing but the purple Twizzlers, turkey legs about big as my arm, the kind you get from Disney. That type of craziness. So you eating up the budget with these wild, weirdo requests on the rider. You got 19 people playing everything from a harmonica to a flute to a bass. It was crazy. And I guess that after he had gotten finished that day and the crowd wasn't what it was, he ended up getting leaving on stage and going to the tour bus. And when he got that little bit of money, Cameo looked around, and this was also word on the street. He just got furious when he realized he had to pay all the salaries out of that money. And then they say Cameo just started punching his bandmates in the face and simultaneously fired them. Get the hell off this bus and give me that money back, boy. I'ma need that. You done with me? It's done over. Went on and on like that. But that was just a small portrait of Miss Excellence from one Larry Blackman and the legendary Cameo. Horrible Human Beings, the portrait of Miss Excellence, Cameo episode. Y'all be safe.